Hello guys, and welcome to the second episode of Horizon's Daybreaker, the new mod pack from FTB which showcases alternative, not very well known mods. And today I intend to use one of those mods, one that I like very much, to make myself some armor and weapons, because really I can't go on like this. I've already been killed by a very nasty zombie. If you look on the right, our difficult life indicator has shown that it's gone from very easy to easy, and in fact I see a slight climb in the second square, which is rather scary. But yes, so armor and weapons are definitely going to be needed. Now, luckily, I've had a lot of success mining. I've got lots of copper and quite a bit of zinc. And I'm gonna start off by putting them into this alloy furnace to make brass from them. Because the mod pack that I'm gonna use, Clockwork Face, relies on brass. And I tell you what, it's such a relief being able to use these alloy furnaces from Blue Power, rather than having to do it the flax-speared steam way as I did in Atonement, because these you can just leave them here and it will do its thing and you don't have to think about it. While the brass is cooking, I'm just gonna pop outside, stick my nose out slightly and show you a few of the changes I was doing off camera. I think you can see that I've sort of chiseled this place up a bit. I didn't put huge effort into this because really I intend to... I don't know why I've got the... Yes, this is annoying. I seem to have switched on the chunk indicator. I will have to do something about that. But, and also it's becoming night, so let's go inside and sleep before something jumps down and eats us. I did meet one extremely scary zombie which was on fire and moved incredibly fast and insta-killed me several times. So I'm not sure if I'm so happy with the difficult life option, and if it gets too much I might switch it off. The thing is, I don't mind slight challenges with mobs, but I'm already playing Magic Farm and Atonement, and this mod pack was more about learning new mods and relaxing a bit and just building rather than trying to be worried about being murdered every minute of the day. Okay, so one of the changes I did was to make this solar generator from Mechanism, which is providing power to the enrichment chamber, etc. And these rather wide cables from Mechanism, they're so different from the Ender IO conduits, which is what I'm used to. But I guess they do their job. So this is one thing. The other thing was to grow some of these things, and really I'm growing both this hemp and this, which is flax, for strength. Because if we go here, where is my house now? I lost it. I am lost. Where is my house? I need strength to make a lot of this fencing because I think it's just lovely, and I'm going to fence off my whole area with this. So the plan is to clear out an area somewhere in here, fence it off and build a base inside it. So both of these plants will give me string. I had a very hard time growing either of them, so I'll just show you. So the thing with hemp is it really looks like sugar cane. So, you know, the natural thing is just to try to make a channel of water and try and stick it down. and it doesn't work. It doesn't work even if you're next to the water. This is because you have to turn it into seeds, like so. And when you have the seeds, you know, you can plant them. I'm not entirely sure if you need any water, but you can definitely plant them. They don't have to be right next to the water. Now, the flax seed, you make it basically by breaking grass, like this. The problem is, I tilled the land and I couldn't plant it anywhere. And what happens is, normally you can plant it here, but it needs to go on hydrated farmland. So I'd have to wait a bit, and once this square is hydrated, it would go in. So that took quite a bit of googling to figure out how to make the string. But anyway, where is my house? Oh, it's a good thing I planted this lovely tree, because it's sort of an indicator of where it is. Yeah, so these fences are from garden stuff, and I just think they are amazingly beautiful. Okay, how is my brass doing? And we'll need some iron. Okay, so the very first thing that I'm going to need to build, I probably need some wood as well, is an assembly table. I'll do the disassembler as well, but not now. And that needs an iron gear. I don't remember anything about how to build these, but an iron gear is quite simple. Here it is. And surrounded by wood planks. There we go. Oh, I'm not sure where I should put this stuff. Maybe here. The second thing we're going to need is well, not straight away, but we might as well make it, is a winding thing, which is made out of brass and iron. Because all these tools that we make and all the armor is going to have springs, and you need to wind it against this box for it to work. And while we're on the topic, I guess we might as well make some mainsprings, as they are called. And I probably need a little bit more iron, or a lot more iron. Okay, so every piece of armor or tool that you make in this has a thing that is called a framework, I think. And that is made with 4 bits of armor, 5, 6. Let's make 6 of these, and we can make a shovel and an axe later on if we still have materials. So now you just build, for example, so this is the Clockwork chest piece, the leggings, the helmet. Now, how do you make the boots? Yes. And the boots. And we are also going to need a pickaxe and a sword. And as I said, I will look later on into whether to make a shovel and an axe. Okay, we're running a little bit out of space. So let's put a few things. Does this just have any space? Oh my god, I'm gonna have to do a storage thing. Well, let's start. I think I'll start putting these main springs into these. So every one of these needs a spring. And it will also need some gears. But this spring only has 2000 tension at the moment, which is quite useless. So this is where the assembly table comes in. And the assembly table lets you do 3 different things. One of them is improving the spring, and you improve it basically by putting a lot of metals around it. It doesn't have to be brass, it can be something else, but yeah. I'm going to, well, let's do this. I am worried that I will run out of brass, despite the fact that I've got so much of it. How are we doing here? Let's put the next portion in. It doesn't all have to be brass for the mainspring. You can also mix it with other metals, like for example this copper. $65. Okay, let's make a bit of space by combining. So for example, if I do this, now the pick has the spring in it, and I will do that with all of these. I might be running out of zinc after all, which is rather scary. You can, when you make the disassembler, you can take any of these apart and improve them, so you don't have to do everything at once. Right, let's put the spring in the hat. Okay, and the last thing that I wanted to do was the sword. And I remember the sword is a bizarre pattern. I think it might be like this. Yes, that is bizarre, isn't it? Come back here, string. I will need you later. Okay, let's make a mainspring for... Oh, our pants don't have a... Our pants don't have a spring yet, so we'll give them this. And then this one will be for the sword. Or maybe the other way around. I do want the armor bits to have a lot of tension. And finally the sword. Okay. Still have a lot of copper. It's zinc that I am missing. I might have to go outside and get some more zinc. One thing that so the next thing we need to do is gears, and put gears into all of these bits of equipment, because right now they're not very good. And each gear is going to give, it has two qualities, quality and speed. And you sort of, so quality is how long the tension will last, speed is how good that piece of equipment is going to be. And you sort of want to balance them. But I noticed that the steel gear has really high quality. So I thought I might make some steel, since I had quite a bit of iron, although now I don't really have quite a bit of iron, so I'm not sure if that's such a good idea. Silver is quite good too. These were all not available to me when I was in Atonement. The thing is, I thought I had a lot of metals, but this just takes so much, it's crazy. But let's double some of that iron. Here's some lead. Lead is 70 quality, 10 speed, so I think the speed is really very low. The iron speed is much better. So let's make a little bit of steel. Let's make a lot of sticks. And then all the gears are made like this. Oh, I am getting really tired of this crafting. I think I'm going to do a bit of it. I'll just show you these gears. So these gears have a lot of quality and not very much speed. Whereas if we do the brass gears, they have low quality but high speed. So the idea is to get different types of gears so they sort of balance each other out. I'm gonna make this off camera and then I will show you just a bit of putting one of them in. Okay, so let's see. I derped out as I usually do. I thought I was recording and I didn't. So you missed the exciting fight with the Enderman when I went to test out my new uniform and my getting of the Ender Pearl. This is so terrible. So let's just have a look at my my armor. It's very fancy, I think you'll agree. But even more important than that if you look at it, if you look at any piece of it, it tells you that this piece, the chest piece, gives a defense of 23%, but the total defense of the full armor is 93%. And that is excellent. Believe me, that Enderman barely made a dent in it. I don't know if I'll be able to find anything else to fight with now. Most unfortunate that that didn't record. Something's burning over there. Let's see whether we can pick a fight. I think that might be that super fast. Is it that super fast thing? $122 points. But as you can see, I'm sort of being hit, but I'm not really taking any damage. I don't understand what... I got a big heart out of that. What is this big heart about? Heart canister, difficult life. Okay, I have no idea what this is, but it sounds good. Yes, but this kind of zombie, before I got my lovely uniform, that type of zombie basically instant killed me. I'm gonna have to see what this heart canister is about. It sounds good. Now I want to go back home, even though I think my armor is excellent. You know, I don't want to... It doesn't say anything. I will have to Google it and see what to do with it. Right. I think I will end here. I'm not sure where to go from now onwards. So let me just tell you what you've missed. I did most of the adding of the Clockwork gears off camera. This one is kind of interesting because I put in that memory charm, or I can't remember what it was called, but it was a piece that I got off a mob that had memory on it. So the pick now has some memory, and it has a chance of extracting time sand if I mine with it. So I'm going to put the Clockwork phase on hold for a little bit, because until I get a bunch of time sand, I can't really progress. The first lot of that time sand that I will get will of course be used to build other machines, which will make getting the time sand easier, and then we can build all sorts of cool stuff. Well, there's a little matter of getting a gas tier, but apart from that, I am kind of thinking of going into equivalent exchange. I can't decide whether it's an excellent mod that will take a lot of the grinding out, or whether it is in fact quite cheaty, but I don't know. I will see. Look, a bit of my flax has finally grown, and it just automatically drops string, which I think is excellent. But this, I have to use 3 pieces of this to make the string, but it's good too. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time when I will have decided what to do.